Okay, good morning. You're welcome to stop this video at any moment when you need to catch up to your notes. The first thing that you should do is open up to page 27 in your notes and make sure that you have a pen or a pencil so you can write some of the things that we're going to discuss. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is focus on the 7 words under the mishna. Okay, word number 1, Beit HaKvarot, is a word that we already had seen before. It means a cemetery. Number 2, Tameh, means impure. That is a spiritual condition, and we write Tameh is impure. Number 3, Azaken literally means somebody who's an elderly person. It really refers to anybody who's a scholar, a wise person. Word number 4, Chole, means somebody who is ill, somebody who is sick. Word number 5, Yoter means more. Number 6, Masa is a load, something that is being carried. And finally, word number 7, Yachol, means able, as in to be able to do something. Before we read and translate the Mishnah, we're going to just review or learn some of the new skills that are going to help us divide the Mishnah into sections. If you look beneath the 7 words, there's a section skills, and there's 2 basic skills. One is the word O, which means or. So clearly before the word O, we divide because O introduces a new sentence. Number 2, remember, and this is really a review, that in the Mishnah we have a case and we also have halacha. There are certain words that tell us the halacha is being mentioned. So for example, when the Mishnah says to do something or not to do something, that's a law. Okay, so just remember that. So now we're ready to go and read the Mishnah, and we're going to divide and translate as we go along. And you should make a line in the Mishnah, as I am going to do, to show where to divide the Mishnah. Okay, the Mishnah says as follows. Matzah barefes. If somebody finds an animal, if you see an animal inside a barn is a place where the animals are usually housed. Eino chayav ba. So again, the Mishnah tells us if you find something in a barn, Eino chayav ba, you're not obligated. Again, that's telling us the case in the halacha. The case is you found something in a barn. Eino chayav ba means you're not obligated, meaning you leave the animal alone, it's in the normal place, it's not a lost animal. Next case, Bereshut Rabim, but if you find it in a public place, you find the animal walking down a path or in the road, this is the case, and the word chayav tells us the halacha, as we know from before. Chayav ba, then he's obligated, meaning he should take the animal and consider it to be a lost item, try to find the owner. Ve'im, and if aita bebeit hakvarot, if it's in the cemetery, lo itamala, then you don't become yourself impure. As we learned before, this is talking about a Kohen. So the Mishnah tells us the case. The Kohen sees something inside the cemetery, and the law is don't make yourself tummy. Im introduces a new case. Im amar lo aviv itama. If the father says to the Kohen, make yourself tummy, right? The father gives the instructions to his son, the Kohen, go and do it anyways. Or another option, O she'amar lo, or if he said to him, al tagzir, or if the father were to tell just any person, do not return the aveda, the Mishnah says, lo ishama lo, he shouldn't listen to him. So again, this is telling us the law, don't listen to him. Meaning, in spite of the fact the father told you to do something, then there are cases, as we would learn, where you don't listen to the parent because the parent is telling you to do something that goes against the halacha. Next case, parak v'ta'an. Now this is talking a different mitzvah. The mitzvah in the Torah is that if you see an animal that is being loaded with a load or being unloaded by the owner, so you have a mitzvah to assist the owner. Parak v'ta'an, if he unloaded and loaded. Parag v'ta'an, and again, you unloaded and loaded. Afilu arba v'chamisha pe'amim, even if you did this 5 times, meaning you helped the owner already many times to do this to his animal again and again and again, the Mishnah says chayav. This is the law. Chayav is a word that introduces the halacha, the din, that you're obligated. Just like we learned before, that the mitzvah is not just to do it once, but even if there's multiple times when the owner needs your help, you still should help him and assist him. Shenemar, this is a key term, and therefore we stop before the key term. And we know from Shenemar that this word introduces a, that's right, it introduces a pasuk. This is from Shemot Chav Gimel. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, Azov ta'azov, that you shall surely help. And since the word, the shorish, is repeated twice, that means that you have to do it multiple times. As we had in Ashev Teshivem, you shall surely return even more than once. Okay, next case. Alach v'yashav lo, if the owner of the animal went and sat down, ve'amar, and he said, Oil ve'alecha mitzvah, since it's really your mitzvah, you came to help, and it's really your mitzvah to do it, im ritzon chalifrok prok, if you want to unload, then patur. And again, the word patur is a din word. It introduces the halacha that you are excused. Again, the case is that the owner says to you, listen, it's your mitzvah, you do it, and he goes and he relaxes. So in that case, patur, you don't have to do it. And shenemar, again, is the key term. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, imo, because the Torah said help with him, meaning you don't do it by yourself, you just have a mitzvah to help him. So if he's doing it, you help him. But if he's not doing it, then you don't have to do it for him, you do it with him. Next case, im is if, it's another case. Imaya zaken, if the person who saw this situation happens to be a scholar, or chole, or the person who's walking by is sick, chayav, he's obligated to do it, which means that if you see somebody who's a scholar loading his animal, or the person is sick and he's not physically able to do it, then of course you have to do it even though he's not helping you. Next case, mitzvah min Torah lifrok, it is a mitzvah from the Torah to unload the animal, aval, but lo liton, but not to load him. So loading the animal is not a mitzvah from the Torah, just unloading. And the reason is because in unloading, not only are you helping the owner, you're also relieving the animal from its burden, from its load. So that's a mitzvah. And we stop here because Rabbi Shimon, of course, is a speaker. Rabbi Shimon Omer Av Liton. Rabbi Shimon says it is a mitzvah also to help load. Because in both cases you're helping the owner. And we stop here because Rabbi Yossi is another speaker. So we have so far a debate between the first opinion and Rabbi Shimon regarding is it a mitzvah just to unload, or is a mitzvah also to even help load the animal, even though the animal is not being helped, only the owner, that's enough to be a mitzvah. Rabbi Yossi Aglili Omer, Imaya alav yeser al masao. Rabbi Yossi Aglili tells us a very important halacha, and that is that if the load is greater than the animal normally carries, yeser al masao, more than his normal load, ein zakuk lo, you're not required to help, because that's not fair. You're overworking the animal. So then the Mishnah says Rabbi Yossi Aglili, you're excused from doing that. And we stop here because shenemar, as the pasuk says, tachat masao, because the pasuk says if you see an animal under his load, and we learn from the word his load, masaoi sheachol la'amod bo, the load that the animal is normally able to carry. So this is the end of the Mishnah.